that as you see a car go by, a family is in that car, we are the other car to them.
That's good. That's right. I think
There
that's right.
is just as much happiness and pain and tragedy and sadness or joy or
that's right.
whatever going on in their car as there is in ours, yet they think we've got it better.
That's
maybe
exactly
our car
right.
is newer or shinier or whatever.
When people meet couples, how often have people, thank you so much, Jack, for your comments, and it's what you tell your kids is brilliant. How often, folks, I want you to think, do you at some reception, at the cocktails, before some event, at their social party, you meet a couple, and you have no reason whatsoever to assume that they're not getting along great. Do you know how often I hear from people whose friends have divorced, and I would ask them, did it come to you as a surprise? And they would say, yes. These are the friends of the couple. My only point is that people, and correctly put on an act for the world, and so you think everybody else is doing great. We'll be back in a moment. All righty, it is comparing yourself to others. What happened to that lady? Too bad. Where was she from? I don't know, Anchorage? I don't know where. Okay, talking about comparing yourself to others, folks, and how that is instant misery. We go to Rick in Sarasota, Florida.
Before the break, you went on with the analogy of the couple who split up in front of even though their friends weren't aware of it.
Yes.
Does that kind of fly in the face of your advice of always, for moral good, to act happy? And if things aren't really hunky-dory, shouldn't people kind of allow that to be seen where there's an irony between always trying to be happy?
I'm thrilled you asked it because it's a very serious and good question. No, it doesn't conflict in any way in what I have said. I still believe that we have a moral obligation not to act moody in the presence of others, but that doesn't mean you hide your problems from your best friends. Okay? Is the distinction clear?
Well, then I guess it's a matter of taking it behind closed doors then. And always trying to act happy in the open.
No. It's not even a matter of closed doors. It's a matter of, even though I have problems, and everyone does, I still walk around with a cheerful countenance. I still don't inflict my moods on others. But that doesn't have anything to do with hiding my issues from my dearest friends. What is the purpose of a friend if you cannot open up about your life? In fact, and I'm very glad you raised this because I'd like to do this. I'd like this to be a happiness hour topic. One of the best things you can do for your marriage is to find a couple to talk to about your marriage. Then you will find that most of the issues you have are fairly universal. The woman will realize she's not married to a jerk. She's married to a male. And the man will realize he's not married to a fill-in whatever word you want for her. He's married to a female. Most females come with certain baggage. Most males come with certain baggage. It's not him. It's not her. It's the gender, or the sex, as we used to say before we substituted the word gender. So that's very important. When I say that we have a moral obligation to be happy and or at least to act it, that doesn't mean that you become a fake. That doesn't mean you don't open up to intimates. One has nothing to do with the other. I don't want you to lie. I want you to act in a certain way that doesn't inflict your pain on other people, and to pursue happiness for all the other reasons. Okay. And 1-8 Prager 776, talking about comparing. I'll give you the couple analogy I give in my lectures on happiness. It's a wonderful analogy, and it's in my book as well. I want you to imagine two couples friends, couple A and couple B. And if you've heard this before, please forgive me, but it is always worth hearing again, in my opinion. And it is two couples. They're to meet each other at a restaurant for dinner. Couple A has a big fight. And on the way to dinner, they're not talking to each other. They're very angry. Couple B, by sheer coincidence, also has a big fight at home. And on their way to the restaurant, they too are not talking to each other. They're angry. The two couples meet in the restaurant, and this is how the dialogue goes. Hey, guys, how you doing? Terrific. How you doing? Terrific. How are you guys? Oh, everything's terrific. We're great. We're great. During the meal, honey, is this delicious? Hey, sweetheart, could you pass the salt? Oh, honey, we got to get this recipe. Oh, darling, this is wonderful. Now I want you to hear what goes on in the two cars on the way home. Couple A is saying, did you see how happy couple B is? Why can't we be more like them? And couple B in their car are saying, did you see how happy couple A is? Why can't we be a little more like them? That's bad. Here is what they should have done. Not act moody. No. But be honest. Hey, guys, this is the scenario I would have liked at the restaurant for two close couples. Hey, guys, how you doing? All right, but I got to tell you, boy, did we have a fight before we came. You had a fight? No kidding. We had a fight, too. Really? You guys fight? Yeah. And what did you guys fight? You fight about that? That's exactly what we fight about. And by the end of dinner, half of the anger, if not all of it, is gone when you recognize that, by golly, we're not exceptional. This is part of marital life, that you have the squabble about that particular issue. The example I always give is the number of women who think their husbands don't listen to them. So I have an announcement to all of you wives. That is not true. Your husband hears everything you say. He just doesn't remember anything you say. There's a very big difference. And by the way, women, you have to know this. Whenever you criticize your men, and I know Bruce Hershensen's great line, dear Bruce Hershensen, who America still laments not having been a senator from California, he has a slight revision on the biblical text. In the beginning, God created men and critics. We'll be back in a moment, and I will explain that. That's very important. But women, you have to understand, you got to be very precise. If you tell your guy you never listen, and he knows he listens. Now, if you say he never remembers, that is true. But there's a big problem. You remember everything. Why is that a virtue? We'll be back in a moment. I have to admit something about it. I will. Because I tell everything about it. I really do. And it's a gamble, but in the long run, I believe it's a good policy. I want you to know me. The more transparent I am, the more credibility I have with you, and the more I'm in your life. And there really is, I admit it, I've never said this on the air. I've never said this publicly. I don't know if I've said this privately, Alan. There is a part of me that wants to help every single person on earth. It's sick. It is. I do not regard it as admirable. It may be admirable, but that is not why I'm saying it. So when I talk to any of you on this subject, it's so hard for me to hang up. I'd still like to be on with Dane in Portland and fix him. I want to fix everybody. I admit it. It's like a messianic impulse. Here is where my great question is: can you get to people's psyches through their mind? And I don't know. Can people hear something and then affect their psyche with it? I don't know. The mind, we have three things going with us: our mind, our brain, and our psyche. And I'm only speaking to 1/3 of what makes us tick.
But I called because I read an article today about John Travolta wrestling with bouts of jealousy over Tom Hanks' career. And
where was the article?
In the Minnesota Star Tribune.
Oh, see, that's terrific. That you did it. You get the bird or whatever, the cigar, whatever Groucho Marx used to give that is, you are right.
It just made me stop in my tracks, and both
it
are
never
good
changes.
stars.
It never changes. It's exactly right. Please, people should know that. The people.
Do you think Dane would ever, in a million years, think that a movie star would be jealous of another movie star? It just would keep going on and on, right, unless you find contentment within yourself.
Just as somebody listening in Botswana, hearing Dane worried about someone having a bigger wedding, a guy who has a car and a home and everything else Dane has, it doesn't end. Once you have that trait, it never, ever ends.